I've never been forced to prostitute. I know that I can get money for my body. When I found out I can get money for my body, for the way I look, it was over. That was all she wrote. My mother was controlling. She let me do things, but then she would stop me. Like, it was okay long as she benefited off of it. You know, long as she was able to get some money from whatever it was I was doing.
It hurts me to make this video. It really does. I'm going to point some stuff out in this video that are very obvious telltale signs of distress, not only for herself, but for that poor child. The handling and the grooming, it's so obvious. And yet it continues down the line until someone breaks the chain. Sometimes in order to break the chain, you got to point shit out for people to see it so they can become aware of it and recognize it. You're going to notice in this clip something she does very often. When she comes across questions she doesn't like, and she knows in advance they're coming, she says, huh? What? She couldn't hear. That deaf and dumb spirit all of a sudden took over. Okay.
I was already living with an older man at 16.
Was this a guy who was taking care of you, or a
He was a trick at first.
He was a trick?
Yeah, he was a trick at first, and I fell in love with him.
You were 16?
Yeah.
How old was he?
He was like already 43.
So she was 16 years old, and this John was 43 years old. You already see the grooming there.
Carry me. I drove a Mercedes.
You drove a Mercedes?
To high school, yeah, every day.
He's taking care of you?
Yeah. I was a kept woman.
Yes, you were. He treated you well?
Very well. Took care of everything I wanted and I needed. To where I didn't have to hoe. I forgot about hoeing. I didn't hoe anymore.
Oh, you did? You stopped?
I stopped when I met him. But I always knew that I can use my body to get whatever I wanted.
I mean, even with him, did you consider that you were using your body to get whatever you wanted?
Right.
Security.
But I fell in love.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How long did that last?
That relationship lasted probably like 5 years. Till I had my first daughter. When I had my daughter. Then after I had her, like, we kind of grew apart.
He was the father?
He was not the father. He had a vasectomy. He couldn't even have children.
So how did you get pregnant?
I got pregnant by the first black specimen that I thought could give me some sperm that would work. And I only fucked him one time. And then I got pregnant with my daughter. And I never fucked him again after that. He was a young guy. He was like 16. I was already 21.
So she was 16, living with a 43-year-old, but got pregnant by someone underage.
Is that the cause of the end of that relationship?
The end of what relationship?
With the guy that you were living with?
No, it actually blossomed. He took care of my daughter. He raised my daughter as his own. He actually has my daughter right now. To this day, he has my daughter with him. I told him, I said, why would you want to raise a child that's not your own? But he loved her as if she was his own. My daughter. She stays in Malibu. like a few doors from the beach.
How old is she now?
She's 13.
And she stays with
my boyfriend.
Yeah. Do you suppose there's anything?
Huh?
You suppose there's anything sexual going on with them?
No.
No.
No, I don't. I don't even think he looks at her like that. That's just dumb.
So you've heard her say as long as it benefited her mother, it was okay. Then you heard her say that she herself handed her 13-year-old, now 13-year-old, because she's been with him since she was probably born. But then she says she left her daughter with the trick. And she doesn't, huh? What? You don't think nothing's going, what'd you say? You don't think nothing's going on there? Huh? You see how she went deaf real quick. So in other words, in order to pay off her debt, she sold her daughter to this other person. That's probably more likely.
How often do you see her?
I haven't seen her in a year. She thought I was dead. When I got shot in my stomach on Halloween Eve, the day before Halloween, she thought I was dead. The world thought I was dead. Everybody thought I was dead. Till I surfaced.
I hate to say it, but spiritually, she sounds like she is.
I think I like the streets.
I've heard so many people tell me they're addicted to it.
I'm addicted to the streets.
Yeah.
They're beating me. I cannot beat them.
No, nobody comes out on top, but people are addicted to it.
I love the streets.
What is the attraction?
I'm kind of trying to cut back on selling the pussy. Like, I don't want to sell so much pussy. I'm going to always have pussy for sale. Only because that's just what I do and that's what I love to do.
Is it just a commodity?
It's what I love to do.
It's something you can trade for things you want.
Yeah, it's easy to do and it makes me money. It's my product is like better than a drug dealer. In this market, nobody's getting what we get a pop, like per anything. Pussy is the highest, like it sells itself.
Yeah, easier than drugs, easier than...
Yeah, it sells itself. All you have to do is be pretty. You don't even have to be pretty. The ugly hoes make money too. Ugly hoe make money real quick. You just gotta be consistent. Pretty much. Now, I don't even have to stand on the corner. I can just walk down West and somebody sees me and they've been looking for me for weeks. Where have you been, Amber? Pretty much. Where have you been?
But you have regulars?
Yes, I have regulars. I have lots of regulars. People who love me. Yes.
Tell me about love. Is love part of your life? Or is it just sex for money?
I don't care if you're green, yellow, or purple, or blue. You got my money, you gotta get your services. I'm a real asshole. Like, period. Like, I do, you get what you pay for. You give me $50, you gotta get $50 worth of fucking, you know what I'm saying? You can't be, all tricks are different too. Every trick is not the same. One trick cannot afford what the next trick can afford. And my product is like, you know how Louis and Gucci is? You don't shop there unless you can afford it. Period. My business is recession proof. I do not feel no recession. Pack of cigarettes go up. What the fuck?
That is devastating and sad. She will give it away. Not willingly, but in order to stay alive.
I'm always going to sell pussy because it's what I know how to do. It's what I love. I love doing it. I think I have a sex addiction at the end of the day because I be like, damn, I need to bust a nut. Like, let me find. You're not good enough. I get to go to running through these trips. Like, at the end of the day, sometimes the money, yeah, I take your money, yeah. I always want to be paid for my services. But I think I'm a predator, too.
But you actually achieve climax during some...
You heard that, right? She has a sex addiction. She has an addiction to gambling. It is very common for people who are stuck in this cycle, that are bipolar or who have mental illness, to have these type of addictions. So she said she's a predator. She said she's given her daughter over to live with her ex-trick. She says she hasn't seen her child in a year. Who is following up on this child?
Your dates?
I will climax sometimes. Yeah.
What does it depend on?
If you know what you're doing, you make me feel good. I don't care what you look like. If you made me feel good, you made me feel good. Period.
See, that's the reptilian brain. What kicks in is you knock out all of your normal senses. When you're in fight or flight mode, you operate on your reptilian brain. So she can't think logically because she's trying to survive. Hence the primal animal instinct of it feels good. Also, she should probably get checked for toxoplasmosis because that's really common in sex beta kittens. But that's another story.
Are some guys just lacking the technique to get the job done?
It can be. Like, I'm looking for a rock hard dick. Like, if your dick ain't hard enough for me, get the fuck up out of here.
Well, damn, I'm glad she has some type of fucking standard.
I'm gonna embarrass you. Like, at the end of the day, because it's not embarrassing me.
You enjoy your work?
I agree there is indeed a problem. And if people don't start stepping in to handle problems like this, what do you think's coming for our future generations? The future abused leading the next generation.
That's because I think I have a sex problem myself.
So you have a drug problem, you have a gambling problem, you have a sex addiction, you have a few addictions, right?
Right.
Shopping?
Shopping is an addiction too.
Yeah. Which one's the worst for you? Which one causes the most problem?
Me.
Yep, the cognitive dissonance problem.
I'm a liability.
It's just all of it.
Right. I tell a pimp, like, pimp, hey, you don't want me as a hoe. Because I'm going to spend all of your money too. And all of my money. I'm a liability. I would not be...
no smart pimp would want you.
Really. Real talk.
What have you learned? Are you learning anything?
Yes, I've learned things. I learned the streets ain't nothing to play with.
Hold on.
She's mad.
I know. I'm going to take care of her. I'm going to take care of you and all.
Thank you.
Hey, hold on. I'm going to take care of her.
Cynthia.
That's for you. Just give us another... I'll take care of him too. I'll take care of him too. Alright, just give me camera right. 10 more minutes and we're done. 10 more minutes and we're done. I'll be right there. Alright? Good. Busy. I understand why they're upset.
I love you, Mark.
I love you, Amber. You're fun.
We're going to be good friends. We're friends for life.
Well, we've known each other for a while now. This is not the first time we've talked. This is maybe the second or third.
It will be more to come. We're going to be good friends.
You're fun. Your friends are fun too. You brought me some interesting ladies.
Can you keep a hard dick?
Can I keep a what?
Do your dick stay hard without any Viagra or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. I don't do any of that. I don't do any of that stuff. But I'm not going to have sex with you either.
I didn't say you were.
I don't have sex with any of these girls I interviewed.
I never said you did. Can you have sex with me? Fuck.
I'm going to let you go, darling.
Okay.
You were fun today. Thank you.
I'll be the exception. I have friends like you all over the place.
You have all kinds of friends, I'll bet.
A perfect ending for that video. Lesson learned. The streets don't play, followed by bang, bang, bang on the door. Don't play. This video is a prime example of how grooming happens, from mother down to child to child. The mom passed it to the daughter who only knew how to hoe, handed off her daughter, who she hasn't seen in a year, deflects by doing drugs and acting on her carnal instinct. Who's going to break the cycle? See, the only way to break change is to what? To do better. Sometimes that includes exposure. Not in a negative light. I don't make these videos to point out people and say, look at that fucking hoe. No, it's to lend the hoe a hand out and up. You have to be shown better to do better. If all this woman knows is abuse and then people continue that, how is she going to better herself, much less her child's life? So I encourage you guys, instead of being judgmental assholes, because it's easy to do that. We haven't walked a mile in those people's shoes. We don't know their mental state. We do not know what they've been through. Let's help them instead. Let's see what we can do to come together and make changes. In order to make changes, that means you yourself have to do things. Because if you are sitting there doing nothing and you think, hey, I'm just an innocent bystander watching, no, what you're doing is you're turning a blind eye to abuse that you see. Stop.